Rick. Live it, love it, leave it, move it. Pray to God you don't lose it. Good or bad, you gotta choose it. Oh my God, I'm going through it. Life, death, can I choose it? One chance, can I do it? I'm shooting for the win. I got it 7:30, let's get to it. Yeah, well, they poppin'. I rip the brakes out my socket. My ceiling's high, I see comments. I get it, pay me my homage. They try to hit me with calls over diamond diplomat charm. Did they get it freaky? Lock me up in the ER. I was on the run from them all. Had me banging in General Pop. Yeah, on Rikers with open source. Jewels killer, my partner them. Gave me weed and boy on a visit. Axios that I was hitting. Ran in jail just like the war. Extradited me to the South. Jim and Richie who sat me out with them G's and couple of ounces. They finally let out the profit. Nobody gave them no profit. Mad as fuck but didn't stop them. I tripled up on my profit. 2 deals, one from Cat, the other one was a sock.
Welcome to another episode of Maximilian Must Know. Did a Q&A announcement video a few weeks back and got a lot of questions, and so I'm going to tackle all of those today. If you have any more questions, please leave them on this video and I'll get to those when enough accumulate. But really good questions, I thought, so let's go through them one by one. Kurt Flirt 2, watching my channel for a long time, asks, what are some of your favorite vacation spots? I need some places to go next year. Love Miami, just feel like it's a fun vibe out there. I don't know if I'd like it so much now that I'm sober. Same thing with Cali. You know, you can't beat it if you like weed unless you go to Amsterdam. I think Cali, LA is fun. Like, I like going to the boutiques out there. But my favorite sort of under the radar spot, and I've been there 5 times, is without a doubt Bermuda. It is the cleanest, most beautiful place that I've ever been. The sand is pink, the water is green, there's no bugs, the temperature is just perfect. So I'm actually a huge fan of Bermuda. It's awesome to take a cruise out there, just fly down, go to Horseshoe Bay, beautiful, gorgeous beach, just a great all-around place. So Bermuda, Miami are pretty much my 2 favorite places to go to. Maverick IQ asks, you're talking about the discontinued Mitza. Oh, by the way, my son of the day, the great Xerjoff Lira, but you could really just get Tundra Madeline by Lawrence Dumont and save yourself $250. But Maverick IQ, you're talking about the discontinued Mitza. How about a top 10 of fragrances that shouldn't have been discontinued according to you? Definitely, I'll do that. A couple I'll give you just off the top of my head that I wish hadn't been discontinued. One of my favorite fragrances of all time, Bergamotto Merino, which I personally like better than Neroli Portofino, done by Gianfranco Ferre. That one was discontinued. I think that was a mistake. And a couple others. Obviously, you guys know how much I like Antidote by Victor and Rolf. I think if they kept the wrong fragrance, I wish they would have discontinued Spice Bomb. I don't think Spice Bomb is bad, but I think Antidote was so unique. And then on the niche side of things, I really wish Creed had kept the original formula of Tamarone. But obviously there's a reason why they didn't. You know, some reviewer a while back, and I don't really want to give him too much shine because from what I've heard, he said a lot of fucked up things about me. But he did a video, he had these rant videos, and he did this rant where he was like, why do fragrance houses discontinue fragrances? Like, do they want to lose money? And it's like, it just shows no understanding of the concept of business. Like, no fragrance house is discontinuing a fragrance because they're coming into a boardroom and going, you know what? I think we have too much money. Let's discontinue this fragrance. No, it's either because the fragrance wasn't selling enough, or it's too expensive to get a material, or they can't get that material anymore, or the material that they can get isn't as good, and so the fragrance suffers. No one's discontinuing a fragrance because they feel like they're making too much money and it's too successful. I'm pretty sure about that one. My 2003 NSX asks, do you use any reward earning credit card for purchasing fragrances? If so, what card do you use? I don't. I actually don't use credit cards anymore. You know, I mean, there was definitely a time in my life when I was making a lot of money and I was charging a lot of things. And I got into a hole and I wound up having to pay credit card companies a lot of money back. And really, since I got that squared away, I just pay for cash with everything. And if I need a card, I use my debit card. And in really rare emergencies, I might use a really low interest credit card and then pay it off right away. But no rewards over here. I just pay for shit. And as you could probably tell, it gets really expensive. One SEP Hero Forever asks, random question, if you were to buy an exotic sports car, which make and model and why? PS, keep the fragrance top 10 videos coming. Okay, I'll do that for you. Sports cars, I would definitely, you know, for me, it's not really a sports car, it's a luxury car. I'm a Bentley guy. You know, my father drove Mercedes his whole life. I love Mercedes. He still has an S500. I love driving that car. But for me, I just love Bentley, and I would probably be a Bentley GT Continental or a Museline. And if it was going to be a sports car, I don't think I'd get a sports car. I think I would just go for a luxury sedan. But if someone twisted my arm and made me get a sport car, yeah, I'd probably go a Gallardo. Lamborghini Gallardo or Murcielago, one of those Lamborghinis. Jim R, he actually doesn't ask a question, he just sort of says whatever you feel comfortable sharing. Fragrance guy, you seem like a cool guy. Thank you. It would be interesting to know more about your work and what you do, maybe. Yeah, so what I do, is I actually work for a nonprofit, and I sort of run their phone sales team. You could say, oh, you do telemarketing? Not really, because we know our clients. We don't really do a lot of like list acquisition and prospecting. So I sort of manage the sales team to get to their goals, and I train people on the organization of how to do phone sales. You know, in a limited amount of time, how to extract money from someone. You know, I did that for a long time, phone sales, and I was really good at it. I also did B2B and face-to-face. I just felt like I was best at phone and teaching people how to be successful really quickly. You know, I'm sort of, I don't want to say a guru on that, but I've been asked to speak about it and stuff like that. So I'm really in sales, and I sort of train people how to do sales in the nonprofit world, how to get donations. George, I'm sorry if I'm mispronouncing this, buddy. George Vivanso, YouTube decides to ban all fragrance reviewers except one. Who do you choose to say? And don't you say you, my dude. No, I would not say me. Look, I'm just gonna go with Robes. Like, to me, I always said Robes is the king of this shit. To me, he's the one that started me. I loved Hero too. I love Steven. You know, I think by this time you see this, there might be my 5 top favorite reviewer video up, but if not, you know, probably Mark, Steven, Daver from Fragrance Bros, you know, Renee, like those are sort of the guys that I really, really enjoy watching. But if I had to say one, it'd be Rose. Oh, wait. Mr. Matt C, how come you never show your face? So 3 main reasons there. The first reason, and it's not because like people, you know, have my picture on Facebook and so people know what I look like. It's not like I'm some mysterious person. There's a couple reviewers. Hero is one. Jay Sometimes Sober was another one that sort of had to stop doing videos. Hero had to take all his videos down because of his job. Jay was advised by, I think, his manager as a musician not to do this, not to be on YouTube with his face reviewing fragrances. And so I just sort of, when my company found out what I was doing, they just weren't thrilled with it, because I sort of do interact with a lot of really wealthy people in New York. And I guess it's one thing to be on video behind a camera talking, and it's another thing for you to be out there. And it was sort of like, either don't censor a lot of what you say, or don't be on camera saying that shit. And so I really chose the other way. But also, I kind of do value my privacy. You know, I live in a world where I've had a lot of friends go through a lot of crazy shit. You know, serious jail time, death, murder, suicide, all kinds of crazy shit. And so I just don't like the idea of people running up on me when I'm walking around. And you might say, you're crazy, you know, it's New York and there's so many people. You're probably right. But at the end of the day, like, I kind of do value my privacy and being anonymous. And now, with that said, if I do leave this job, I will make some videos on camera, because I think it would just be great to interact with you guys like that. But I just kind of like doing it like this, and I kind of said that I would from the beginning, and I just feel like it's better for me, you know. And I'm sorry if people don't like that, but you know, there's so many reviewers that are on camera that I figure you guys could watch them if this really, you don't like this, and I understand that if you don't, you know. And as I said, hopefully one day I will be able to get in front of the camera and be okay with it and not feel like I'm doing something that I shouldn't be doing. But right now it's just not something I can do, or I said I wouldn't, and so I'm sticking to that. Kenneth Lanahan asks, I have a few quick questions. First, what is your favorite store to shop for fragrances? That's a great question. So I'll take it on 3 levels. Like online, you know, I really sort of like the discounters, Amazon and FragranceNet. In New York City, you know, I just like the usual suspects. Like as far as department stores, I think I would like Bergdorf's the best, because it's near my office, and they have Mama Wash and Montal and Xerjoff and Creed and Tom Ford, and by Killian they have just a crazy selection, and they're really nice over there. The head of fragrances is a really nice guy, so I'd say Bergdorf is probably my favorite department store. And then as far as like a niche fragrance store, you know, it's the usual suspects. Like I love Min, you know, I'm friends with Mindy and Chad. I love Min. I love Josie over at Oswald. I love the Twisted Lily crew. You know, those are the places the places that you can catch me. You know, Oswald. I haven't been there in a minute though. Twisted Lily, Min. I like Aids de Venustis. I like the other two. The other one's better, I think. I just feel like a little more comfortable there. Aids de Venustis is a little weird. You know, it's a little bit unfriendly the times that I've been there, but I could just be paranoid. But so I would say any of those I really like. Second question is, what was the first fragrance that blew your mind? The first fragrance blew your mind? Yeah, so it was really, I mean, Fahrenheit as a kid, because I was just like, damn, this smells so good. And then as I got older and really into this, I'd say Sartorial was the one that made me be like, whoa, so fragrances can smell like things other than the ocean or mountains or the sea. You know, it was like, wow, this smells like a tailor's workshop. Just made me think of fragrances totally differently. Third, what niche fragrance would you say contains the iris that appears in Dior Homme? I don't know that there is one. You know, I think that Robes made a comparison with Giorgio Armani's fig fragrance. I think it's Figueiron, to Fisokos and Dior Homme, and I think that's true. I think that, yeah, those two actually are really good comparisons. But that's really it. I don't really know that if Dior Homme has been duplicated brightly in terms of a niche fragrance. I feel like Dior Homme is on its own, and that's sort of why it is Dior Homme. And then finally from Kenneth Forth, have you ever been made fun or had your manhood questioned for being in fragrances? No, I actually haven't. People who know me, you know what I'm saying? And like, I don't want to say I'm a rough and tumble dude, but like, no one's gonna say to me like, what are you, like a gay, or like, what are you, a chick because you like fragrances? And it's just never happened to me. You know, I think that comes down to how comfortable you are in your own skin, is what you can pull off. You know, it's probably why I'm comfortable wearing women's fragrances. I just don't care. I feel like I've just always been a person who is gonna do shit that other people are scared to. And just be bold with fashion and choices, you know, so I don't really give a fuck what other people think. It's just always been something within me. I just have a lot of confidence in myself and my ability to pick cool things, and I feel like if people don't like them now, they'll like them years down the road. And if they give me credit, cool. If not, that's cool too. You know, at the end of the day, it doesn't matter. Okay, we got some more. Bronze Print, can you make a top 10 for the 4 seasons and an all-time great list? So top 10 for the seasons, okay, that's something I'll consider. I mean, I do a starting lineup every season, so I kind of feel like that's sort of like that. Then an all-time great list. If you watch at the end of every year now, I do a top 10 niche fragrances of all time and top 10 designer fragrances of all time. So I would say just keep looking for those. Maybe we'll do a best ever. Pat Stevens, if you could have a meal with anyone in history, famous or not, who would it be and why? Best pizza in NYC. Thanks, Max. If I could have a meal with anyone, wow, that's a really good question. Famous or not? You know, everyone says shit like Jesus and Martin Luther King. I don't know, man. Like, it's gonna sound lame, but I kind of like to really have a real face-to-face with my great-grandfather, who came to the U.S. by himself from Sicily when he was 13 years old on a boat. Set up shop in Massachusetts and opened up his own barber shop with backing from the mafia. So I just think that's cool, you know. And they wanted to fund him to be like Estee Lauder back in the day, and he didn't want to take their money. You know, he was like, "Thank you for the barber shop, and you guys can do whatever you need to do in here, but I don't want that." And so I just think it would be cool to talk to him. I mean, I don't want to say he's my hero, but he definitely is influenced. Like, I think of him when I do a lot of things. So I would say I would like to have and I only knew him, he died when I was 4, so I never really knew him that well. Best pizza in New York. You know, if you're talking slices, I would say Patsy's on 106. And if you're talking like a whole pizza, there's a few places I really like. Keste is one, Motorino is one. Like, I like real Neapolitan style pizza. I'm not really big on like the slice, you know, buy a slice in a place joint. I like the way that they eat pizza in Italy. So Keste, Motorino, Artichoke are the places that I like in New York City. Top line fragrance. Is there a frag that's hyped up to the max in Fragrom that you cannot stand and do one think is bottle worthy, or I guess don't think is bottle worthy? Yeah, I don't understand Eau Sauvage right now. Sauvage, not Eau Sauvage, the new Dior. I do not get why people like this fragrance, Dior Sauvage. I think it's terrible. I don't think it smells fine, but like, I feel like frag heads who smell all kinds of different shit should be able to look at it and go, this is boring, this is bad for fragrances. We need more of fragrances not like this in the community. We need daring fragrances. To me, you know, that wasn't one of them. I think Dior, I understand what they did, but I wish they didn't do it. And I just don't understand people who, I understand the average Joe who likes it. I don't understand people who really love fragrances, who like it and think it's great. But that's what makes us different. You know, Cody did a review on it. He gave it a 10 out of 10. I told him I thought he was nuts. And I sort of explained my position. He explained his position, and that's it. He's got a great nose. You know, I respect Cody's opinion so much. I disagree with him wholeheartedly on this one. And I'm sure he disagrees with me wholeheartedly on lots of my picks. So it is what it is. I don't get that one personally. Liam Hannon, do you have any tips for ways to improve your ability to pick out and analyze fragrances? Yeah, like, so what I did basically is there was a health food store near where my old apartment was in New York City, and they had like 100 different types of essential oil. And because I shopped there a lot, I would just go, and every day I would just dab a little bit on my skin. Everything from galbanum to peach to styrax to benzoin, all different resins, and geranium and iris and orchid and violet leaf. And I just think that's a great way to understand. Really, be honest with you guys, it's the only way you're really going to be able to learn to pick notes out in fragrances, because otherwise you're just guessing. So I really recommend you just going to like a health shop or something like that and just experimenting with essential oils and sort of learning what different things smell like. And it's like anything else, you know, it's like the more time you pay to it, the more you practice, the more you want to learn about fragrances, the more you will learn about it. It takes time, guys, you know what I'm saying? Like, it's like every day I try to smell something new, you know. Every day I reach out to a new house and ask them, do they want to be on scent safari? Like, it just doesn't happen overnight. You develop a great nose by smelling a great amount of things. And something else I would actually advise is, as you go through life, pay attention to how different things smell. You know, before I was into frags, I was really into wine, and always into food, and I would just always like try to pick up notes in wine, and just I really pay attention to my senses, music and movies and food, and just try to enjoy things that I can experience. And fragrances is the ultimate way, I think, to use your nose. And so, but you do have to work at it if you really want to smell a fragrance and try to dissect it. Okay, finally, it looks like the final one for this run, and we're almost at 20 minutes, so that's cool. Hopefully we'll do some more of these. Can you recommend some strong coffee fragrances, please? Thank you. Yes, Maz Stima, I can. So first of all, I'm going to say Maxed Out by 4160 Tuesdays, which is a fragrance I collaborated on with 4160 Tuesdays. We're going to be giving away very soon a 7.5 ml of Maxed Out on my channel, so make sure you stay tuned for that. Don't ask me for it now though, because you won't get it. But so I think it has a great coffee note in it. You know, the idea was to have a really crazy night in New York City, marijuana, tobacco, hookers, cocktails. And so Sarah says, I felt like he needed a cup of coffee in the morning, so she put some coffee, a really great coffee note in this one. I would say I have two favorite niche and designer coffee fragrances. On the designer side of things, I think Pure Coffee by Terry Mugler is really good. And on the niche side of things, without a doubt, my favorite coffee fragrance is by Killian's Intoxicated, which is, for me, everything that is right about Angel Men. I don't really like Angel Men. I think by Killian's Intoxicated took Angel Men and just killed the tar note and just really let the coffee shine. And I think it's an excellent fragrance. Definitely one of my favorite fragrances of all time, Intoxicated by Killian. What else? Coffee. You know, for me, those are the ones that really, I think, stand out. I think Royal Espresso by Sebastian is good, but I don't really think I think it's more of sort of a latte, sweet, hazelnutty fragrance, you know, than it is like pure coffee. I don't really think Intense Cafe is a great coffee fragrance. It's good, but it's really a lot more about rose and vanilla than it is coffee, as far as I'm concerned. There's coffee in it, definitely, and I get it throughout the life of the fragrance, but I just think Intoxicated is such a better coffee fragrance. I really want like a black espresso sort of fragrance, and you know, I don't know, maybe I'll have to make it because it's really not out there, although Intoxicated has a pretty good shot at it. So guys, there you go. That has been the first Q&A. I hope you have found these questions informative, and I hope you learned something. And if you have any other questions, leave comments on this video, and when we get to 20, we'll drop another, or we get to 10 more, we'll drop another video. Guys, you know what it is. My name is Maximilian. Thank you so much for participating. I must know.
Steph hit the phone and said, when you coming back home? When I'm sitting on my throne, when I'm turning down on the chrome. Mama said, if that's what you want, just remember to praise the Lord. Ain't me and Rick, man, Marley, listen, freaky, I'm on my D, but it's something about your heart.